Alright guys, so back with another entry, and this one I want to talk about the Undertaker's streak at WrestleMania. Obviously awesome accomplishment, amazing feat, unthinkable I guess really, draws many parallels to I guess CM Punk's title reign in sense of who, nobody really saw it coming, except obviously this one, the Undertaker streak kind of creeped up on you a bit because it's, obviously one event per year, and he's obviously missed two, so he could already be uh, at 23-0 right now. But anyway, um, yeah, and so should the streak be broken? Now this is a much argued and debated thing. I mean, everybody always jumped to the conclusion, and I did too, growing up. I mean, and still now, I still think it should fall to an up and comer, because what better way to establish your career than ending the streak, becoming that guy? I mean, every other thing's been done. I mean, under Undertaker, even I was about to say, everybody's like won. I think every championship maybe on their debut, and Undertaker won the world heavyweight the WWF championship of Hulk Hogan, and yeah, obviously didn't keep it for very long, but he won it nevertheless on his debut, and yeah, he but nobody has ever won has beat the streak. Kind of whether you've been a wrestler for 20 years, 10 years, 15 years. I mean, Jake the Snake, Ric Flair even fell to it. The Big Show fell to it. Uh, Randy Orton, Triple H three times, Shawn Michaels, Edge, Batista. Pretty much a who's who of wrestling. I think Stone Cold is probably one of the main ones. I think Stone Cold and The Rock are probably the main ones who never got to really contest it. But in that time period, they were pretty much fighting each other for at least two WrestleManias in a row, or they were involved in other things. So I mean, yeah, and obviously Taker was not around for two of the. Was at least not around for one of the WrestleManias, uh, for a possible match to take place. But yeah, so I've always felt it should be. I mean, I felt if anybody should have took it, and it's not my greatest choice, but if you can talk about up and comers, it has to be Randy Orton. I mean, the Legend Killer. I mean, I think in hindsight now, I think WWE probably, if they were going to, he was the perfect guy. He's still in the company. He's not done a Brock Lesnar come in, be handed everything and fuck off. He's stayed there. He's put up with being a boring, monotonous babyface now for 3 years, I think. Almost four. So, yeah, I mean, he is the guy. He's a third generation superstar. He has the means. He had the Legend Killer moniker at the time. He was, he was believable. He could do it. He's quick RKO out of nowhere. I remember watching that match. I actually thought a few times, wow, I've never had that feeling in any other match. That was the only WrestleMania I actually felt could he. And obviously the year after I think was Henry, which I mean, you know, that was just thrown together. I don't really think. I mean, Henry's a great person, great wrestler, deserves respect, but shouldn't really, I don't think, have been in the streak wrestlers that Undertaker's faced when there's other people who could easily have filled the gap. I mean, even Kurt Angle. I mean, Kurt Angle could potentially have done it. He is believable. But yeah, and then the Big Show booked correctly. I mean, Big Show, I think Ric Flair, I think it was, or something like that. He ended up. Oh no, sorry, the Big Show and A Train. That's right. Yeah. So two big guys still couldn't do it, and Flair I think was the year before or the year afterwards. But yeah, either way, the Undertaker kept coming through, and I think Diesel was probably one of my favourite ones because I was a kid then, and I liked Diesel, I liked Taker. Like why that WrestleMania was headlined by Bam Bam and the NFL guy, I'll never know. But I like Bam Bam as well. But yeah, and if it did fall to any established things, then everyone would the obvious choice would be Kane. But the problem with that is, if everybody assumes it's going to be Kane and it's Kane and Undertaker in a WrestleMania match, everyone's gonna, people are gonna say, well, it's obvious Kane's gonna take it, because yeah, Triple H has been beaten three times, but at this point in Undertaker's career, how banged up he is, like Kane could be the guy to take it. But why would I mean, it's not really going to help Kane's career. I mean, yeah, it'll give him the, unless Kane and Undertaker retire in the same match, I really don't see a purpose for A, Kane doing it, or B, Taker losing it. So I just think let one thing stay in wrestling that's not been tarnished. Let the streak continue. It's going to probably continue to WrestleMania 30, 22-0. I mean, I kind of would like to see it end at the Undertaker streak. I think it should have ended at like either a 0, so 10 or 20, 30, or like a 25. Something like a little milestone like that. And I'm sure Taker could do it. Sting's still going. If Taker started something like DDP Yoga, who knows? But yeah, so I think it's obviously a monumental feat. I just think for the respect for everybody else who's lost in the streak, I think it needs to maintain. Otherwise, you're taking away so much legitimacy. It's one of the only things in wrestling that's somewhat legitimate. I mean, yeah, it's obviously predetermined. I mean, The Undertaker can get his ass whooped the night after or the week later, or something the 2 nights before, but still, and obviously him and Punk had an amazing match. CM Punk, I knew CM Punk was never going to do it, because at this point in Punk's career, it wouldn't, I don't know where Punk can go, but yeah, it wouldn't really have done much. So I think, my vote on that, on the muchly debated, should it, shouldn't it end, is that it should not end and should remain as he's called the Phenom. He is a phenomenal wrestler. He's to actively wrestle. I mean, yeah, he's not done it as much last few years, but he got so many years of wrestling hard, pretty much, hard, not hardcore the style, but just consecutively without really getting any major injuries. So I think he's done well. He's he's lucking out a bit now, but I think everybody should just respect and enjoy for as long as we have him. And yeah, that's draws me to a close on this video. And as always, like, subscribe, message, comment, debate with me, and yeah, I'll speak to you soon. Take care.